Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel, and I gotta tell you, of all the cooks that I have done with this Gravity Fed XT, I am looking forward to this one the most. So look, my name is Tommy, and of course this is the Gallery Backyard Barbecue. If this is your first time here, please consider to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you get notified every time the channel does a future upload. So guys, as noted, I am super jacked on today's cook. So much so that I am going to get right into it, as we are going to head on over to that Masterbuilt Gravity Fed XT and get it fired up. And you guys have been asking, and today is the day. I am going to hit it with some cherry chunks and also some hickory chunks. Basically, I will get it started in the hopper, a couple chunks down. I will hit it with some more fuel, hit it with a couple more chunks, and then top off that fuel. Then we will head on over to the ash catcher. It is fire starters in. We will get that lit up, and I will also hit some chunks down in the ash catcher. That is ultimate chunks of wood, ultimate chunks of smoke. So basically at this point, what you got to do is you got to wait about 2 to 3 minutes or so. When you see that smoke start willowing up from the hopper, it is time to fire up that control panel, and we will set the dial on that panel for about 300, 305, 310. I always like to overshoot when I first light up the pit. After everything checks out, we will close it all up, and we will turn our attention right over to those beef Dino ribs. So this is a 3 bone-in rack that I've picked up from Wild Fork. Guys, I am going to say it again, 20 off 100 to Wild Fork online or Wild Fork brick and mortar, as they do have 35 or so locations scattered around the US and also Canada. So definitely check to see if there's a Wild Fork near you and take advantage of this offer while I have it. Usually when I do beef ribs, I'll just score that fat cap. On this one here though, I have decided to take it off. And basically how you do that is just get your knife underneath. We want to get that fat cap off. We want to get to that silver skin. Take your time, have a sharp knife, and it is not that difficult to do. Certainly not as difficult as it is to cleaning a brisket, as I will just go under it, tilt my knife up, and just let the knife do all the work. Again, if your knife is sharp, it is not that difficult to do. I will just continue to pick at that, continue to work on that, and get as much of that fat cap off as I feel comfortable with doing. And that will, like I said, expose that silver skin, and we will just get that knife under there, tilt it up, and get it off. So guys, I also say this on every show. This is my salt, pepper, and granulated garlic mixture. I mix this up in batches. I keep it in my cabinet. If you follow the show, you know I use it probably on 75–80% of my cooks. I've got links down in the description straight to Amazon. Pick up some pounds of bags of it and start mixing your own. I also have a ratio down in the description so you can get that right mix. Other than that, I've got the membrane on the back scored. There is no reason to remove it. I will start back there and make sure you get enough rub on. As you can see, I've got more rub on the board than I actually have on the piece of protein. But that is one of the advantages of cooking outside in the shack. I can just brush it off. Once I get that beef ribs rubbed down to my liking, again, plenty of it on, we will just hang out and wait for that pit to come up to temp. Once that pit comes up to temp, I will bring you guys back and we will start the cooking. This cook here will be tracked with that Masterbuilt app, and periodically you will see me pop up some screen graphs of the cook so you guys could follow along right at home. And there is not much left to do here but get the beef ribs on. I will also monitor this temp with my chef's temp inside on the meat. I know my chef's temp is precisely on the money, so I can make adjustments on the app as I go, so I can go to that exact temperature that I want. And again, you will see some graphs as the cook goes on, and I will explain to you what is happening. 3 hours into the cook, it is time to give it that first spritz. I am going to go with just a flat out water spritz. And as you can see, first graph is posted, and we are also running about 25 degrees too hot. I've got a theory on this. Stay to the end and I will explain it. Other than that, the meat is looking pretty good. We will give it a quick spritz down. I am definitely digging that early color. One spritz down, we will shut it down, and I will see you guys at hour 4. Hour 4 spritz, and I know you guys are wondering where I got this. Link down in the description. You always ask, so I will just mention it. And yes, you could see that graph. We are still running hot. I will start to bump the temperature up now because I know these ribs are going to be done at that 5-hour mark. So I am going to try to develop a little bit more bark, but the color looks to be spot on. And as you can see, we are up in that 180 plus. So I am definitely digging that, as I am just not into that long 8-9 hour cook. Again, pit is running hot. Stay tuned for the explanation. Other than that, we will just shut it down, and I will see you at hour 5. A little over 5 hours in, final graph posted, and I am definitely digging both of those. And as you can see, we are 196 on the protein. More importantly than that, we are probing like butter, and nothing makes me more happier than that. And as we go to pull these ribs off, I am taken aback by the juice, man. These are plenty of juicy, and I am definitely digging that bark. It is not the best bark I've ever got, but good nonetheless. At this point, I will just grab them a little bit and feel around. That fat is nicely rendered, man. I am just admiring the little bit of easy work that I put into these ribs. From there, I've got some paper on the board. We will get them on over to that board. I will put some butter on the top. We will give it a wrap, and then I will grab some foil and wrap over that. We will let these sit on the board for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. That is all the time I got. At that time, I will bring you guys back. We will unwrap it like Christmas morning, slice them open, taste test, and talk about it. Alrighty guys, Christmas morning has arrived here at the Gallery Backyard Barbecue as we go to unwrap these beef ribs. And I am always taken back when I unwrap any type of protein. And as noted earlier, the color is definitely there. I've had better barks, but oh well. We will go in, we will start to slice these ribs up, and we definitely got a nice smoke ring. Man, these are plenty of juicy. I am definitely digging everything about beef ribs. If you've never tried them, you definitely have to pick some up and smoke them up. So, and this is why we leave that back membrane on, as they get all twisted up. If that membrane wasn't there, they would probably just fall apart. And again, man, the color is spot on, smoke ring spot on, juiciness spot on. Let's just take about 10 or 15 seconds here and admire these beef ribs. What I want to do here is let's finish this up here on the board. Let me take you in live for that taste test, and we will talk about it. Alrighty, and what else could I say other than this is beef ribs goodness. Definitely one of my favorite things to smoke on any pit, more than a brisket. I will take these any day. They say brisket on the stick, and there you go. So look, about the Masterbuilt, the one thing I have to say about the Masterbuilt is anytime, it seems to me, anytime you have any type of water pan or any foil draped along the bottom, it kind of messes with the algorithm on the temp control. As other cooks, if I had it set to 250, she would run right at that 250, 260 or so. Anytime something on the bottom, she seems to run a little bit hotter. On this cook here, we were looking at about 25 degrees hotter. Not a big deal, as I had my chef's temp in there. So to maintain a 275 for say, I would set the pit at 300. Now let's go in on these bad boys and do a taste test. I mean, these are barky goodness for sure. And that is my flavors, man. Salt, pepper, garlic, It's smoky. I can taste that cherry wood in there. As you can see, that smoke ring is starting to develop more as it sits here. And that is it, man. That is going to close out this show. That is the Masterbuilt Gravity XT. Again, full review coming. These are some beef dino ribs from Wild Fork. Go pick them up. I've got that 20 off 100. You guys know about it. And again, my name is Tommy. I appreciate you all for watching. And until next time, we will see you soon.